The practical application of this truth is profound. Turn off the noise, look inward, and look upward. Focus on the unique path God has laid before you, not the one He laid before your neighbor. Your journey is uniquely yours, designed by the Master Architect, and it's perfect for the lessons you need to learn and the impact you are meant to make. This realization became a spiritual turning point for Sarah. She began to understand that her mindset wasn't simply a personal preference. It was a reflection of her faith. If she truly believed in a God of abundance, a God who called her His beloved child, then why was she living as if she were an orphan, constantly striving and feeling deficient? The central biblical truth that unlocked her transformation was found in Philippians 4:8, often translated as, "Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." This wasn't just a suggestion. It was a divine command for cultivating her mind. It wasn't about ignoring reality, but about intentionally directing her focus. Her inner transformation began with a radical shift in her thought patterns. She started to actively challenge every negative thought, asking, "Is this true according to God's word? Is this noble? Is this pure?" If the answer was no, she would consciously replace it with a thought aligned with God's truth, like a spiritual gardener pulling out weeds and planting flowers. This deliberate act of mental gardening began to change the very soil of her soul. With this new perspective, Sarah's life began to reflect a quiet but powerful transformation. She started her days not by dreading the hospital shift, but by intentionally focusing on the good she could do, the lives she could touch. Her testimony isn't about a sudden dramatic miracle, but a consistent, incremental shift. She didn't win the lottery or get a sudden promotion. She found peace and purpose in the same circumstances that once overwhelmed her. She began to see her interactions with patients not as tasks, but as opportunities to embody God's love. This expansive application of a positive mindset meant that every corner of her life, from her morning routine to her evening prayers, became infused with intentionality. She started to notice small blessings she had previously overlooked, like the warmth of her coffee, the laughter of a child in the hospital hallway, or a kind word from a colleague. This wasn't about ignoring problems, but about giving them less power and giving God's presence and promises more. She learned that a truly positive mindset isn't blind optimism. It's grounded faith that sees God's hand in every situation, even the difficult ones, and trusts in His ultimate plan. Now, how do you begin to apply these truths in your own life? The first practical step is to become a watchful gatekeeper of your mind. Just as a city gate controls who enters and exits, you must control the thoughts you allow to reside within you. This means actively challenging negative self-talk, not just ignoring it. When a thought of "I can't" arises, counter it immediately with "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." The second step is to cultivate your environment. Remove toxic influences from your life, whether it's negative media, draining relationships, or even cluttered physical spaces that breed chaos. Surround yourself with people who uplift your spirit, media that inspires your faith, and spaces that invite peace. This isn't selfish, it's essential for spiritual health. The third step is consistent action. Set clear, actionable goals, even small ones, and take daily steps towards them. Remember the story of Nehemiah, who rebuilt the walls of Jerusalem not in one grand stroke, but by assigning each family a small section. Your success, too, will be built brick by brick, one consistent action at a time, fueled by a renewed vision of what God can do through you. Your journey is not just about overcoming current problems. It's about building a foundation for a future filled with purpose, peace, and profound impact. Sarah, now a mentor to younger nurses, often shares how her initial struggles weren't roadblocks, but rather the very training ground God used to refine her spirit. She now views setbacks not as failures, but as essential detours, redirecting her to deeper insights and stronger faith. Your story has the potential to be a beacon of hope for others, a testament to God's transformative power when we align our hearts, minds, and actions with His will. Imagine a future where the whispers of doubt are replaced by the shout of purpose, where fear gives way to unwavering faith, and where every challenge becomes an opportunity for growth and a deeper reliance on the divine. This journey of cultivating a positive mindset is a lifelong process, a continuous partnership with the Creator. Don't walk it alone. We want to hear your victories, your struggles, and what spiritual topics you'd like us to explore next. Share your insights in the comments below, and let's continue to grow together, building a community rooted in faith and flourishing in purpose. Another common pitfall, one that can derail even the most well-intentioned spirit, is the lack of clear direction. We wake up sometimes with a vague sense of what the day holds, but without a precise map, we drift. This lack of intentionality leaves us susceptible to every distraction, every fleeting urge, every urgent demand that isn't truly aligned with our deepest purpose. It's like embarking on a long journey without a destination in mind, hoping to arrive somewhere meaningful by chance. But here's a surprising revelation. Your mind is not just a place for thought. It is a powerful tool for creation, a divine instrument given to you to manifest the life God intends. You were designed to be an intentional co-creator. This means cultivating the habit of setting clear goals before the sun even graces the horizon. Before the demands of the world rush in, take time to define specific objectives for your day, for your week, for your life. And beyond just defining them, visualize your success vividly right after waking up. Imagine, with all your senses, what it feels like to achieve those goals. See yourself overcoming challenges, experiencing the joy of accomplishment, feeling the peace of divine alignment. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's priming your mind, aligning your spirit with God's will, and setting a purposeful tone for your entire day. I remember hearing about a young woman named Sarah, an aspiring artist who felt overwhelmed by the competitive art world. She would wake up feeling anxious, her creative spark dulled by doubt. But after adopting this morning ritual, she began to visualize not just selling her art, but using it to inspire faith. She saw her canvases telling stories of hope, her colors reflecting divine light. This daily practice didn't just boost her confidence, it clarified her purpose, leading her to start a small, impactful online ministry where her art became a vessel for spiritual encouragement, a path she never imagined possible. The true spiritual turning point occurs when we realize that God's active involvement in our lives isn't limited to grand, miraculous interventions, but profoundly present in our daily disciplines. We often separate the sacred from the mundane, believing that our faith is exercised solely in prayer closets or church pews, while our daily routines are merely secular necessities. This disconnect is a fundamental misunderstanding of God's omnipresent nature and His desire for every aspect of our lives to be an act of worship. The central biblical truth that anchors this understanding is found in James 2:17. Faith without works is dead. Our actions are not separate from our faith. They are its living, breathing manifestation. When we choose discipline, when we choose intentionality, when we choose purpose, we are actively demonstrating our faith in the God who empowers us. This isn't about rigid rules. It's about radical self-love and prioritizing divine purpose. The inner transformation is profound. Discipline ceases to be a burden and becomes devotion. Self-control isn't about denying yourself, but about affirming your highest calling. It's about mastering self-discipline by bravely saying no to the endless barrage of distractions that vie for your attention. Every notification, every mindless scroll, every captivating triviality that pulls you away from your goals is a thief of your time and your purpose. Cultivating the ability to prioritize long-term goals over immediate gratification is not just a practical skill, it's a spiritual battle won, building a fortress around your focus, creating an environment where your spirit can truly thrive. This new perspective allows us to see challenges, even fear itself, not as insurmountable barriers but as powerful signals, pointing us directly towards growth. We often mistakenly believe that courage is the absence of fear, that only the fearless can achieve great things for God. But a powerful truth, a liberating revelation, is that courage is not the void of fear, but the unwavering willingness to take action in its very presence. Fear then becomes a compass, indicating precisely where your next breakthrough lies, where God is calling you to expand beyond your comfort zone. Consider Mark again, the man from our earlier story. For years, he dreamt of starting a community outreach program through his church, a passion project he felt God had placed on his heart. But the fear of failure, the daunting logistics, the thought of public speaking paralyzed him. He prayed, he waited, but nothing happened. It was only when he embraced the principle of acting despite fear, understanding that his nervousness was a sign of significance, that he took the first terrifying step. He organized one small meeting. That single act of courage, born not from fearlessness but from faith, unleashed a cascade of divine momentum. The program flourished, touching hundreds of lives. This transformation wasn't just about Mark's actions, it was about his willingness to step into vulnerability, to allow God to work through his imperfections. Furthermore, this journey is not meant to be walked alone. The principle of replacing negative influences with driven, faith-filled people is crucial. Your social circle is not just a group of friends, it's a spiritual ecosystem. Surrounding yourself with positive, ambitious individuals whose energy and accountability resonate with your own aspirations will contagiously elevate your growth. Just as old man John, who, after losing his wife, felt his world shrink. He began to wither in isolation until a friend invited him to join a weekly men's Bible study group. The vibrant energy and unwavering faith of the others revitalized him, sparking new interests and a renewed sense of belonging, proving that fellowship truly is fuel for the soul. As we continue on this transformative journey, there are practical steps, daily disciplines that serve as anchors for our spiritual and personal growth. One crucial step is to consistently read books that challenge your current thinking every single day. This isn't just about accumulating knowledge. It's about continuously expanding your mindset, exposing yourself to new perspectives, and fostering critical thinking that allows you to question existing assumptions, even those you've held deeply. God gifted us with intellect, and to neglect its cultivation is to leave a vast field unplowed. Furthermore, it is vital to track your progress rigorously every single night. This consistent review of your daily actions isn't about self-criticism, but about maintaining focus, building momentum, and learning valuable lessons from both your successes and your setbacks. It enhances self-awareness and accountability, turning abstract goals into tangible achievements. Consider it a daily conversation with yourself and with God, reflecting on how you've stewarded the precious gift of another day. And perhaps, most importantly, make it a priority to invest time in skills that pay forever. These aren't just about career advancement. They are timeless, transferable abilities that serve you in every aspect of life. Learning how to learn, effective, communication, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, time management, and digital literacy. These are the tools that build enduring professional and personal success, adaptability in a rapidly changing world, and true independence. What small, intentional step will you take today to cultivate one of these skills, knowing that you are investing not just in your future, but in the divine talents God has entrusted to you? This journey of transformation isn't about reaching a fixed destination. It's about embracing an ongoing, dynamic walk with God, where every choice you make is an act of faith, a living prayer. It's about understanding that the extraordinary life you seek isn't something you stumble upon, but something you intentionally build, stone by stone, choice by choice, day by day, fueled by divine purpose. The principles we've discussed, taking ownership, setting clear goals, curating your influences, nurturing your mind, tracking your progress, acting despite fear, investing in timeless skills, and mastering self-discipline are not merely self-help strategies. They are spiritual disciplines, practical expressions of your faith, leading you towards a life overflowing with purpose, impact, and profound divine joy. And finally, the ultimate expression of a transformed life, the capstone of this journey, is to serve others generously to expand your influence daily. This isn't about obligation, it's about profound fulfillment. By selflessly offering your time, your skills, your compassion, you create a positive ripple effect that extends far beyond yourself, touching lives, building community, and reflecting the very heart of God. This isn't just about your personal success. It's about how your transformed life can become a beacon of hope and inspiration for others.